The suspects in that disrupted terror plot overseas are Pakistani Muslims, and when the world points fingers after such a plot, members of the Muslim community become uneasy.
CBS 2's John Duncanson reports on a Chicago neighborhood where there is fear of backlash.
On Devon Avenue, both Indians and Pakistanis live and mix in relative peace, even though their home countries are often at some level of war. It's a place where an Indian Sikh will speak of a terrorist plotter and not blame his Pakistani Muslim neighbor.
They are terrorists. They are not Muslim. They don't have no religion.
But the many Muslims on Devon feel like targets nonetheless. Naseem Sarwar has a bookstore with Urdu writing on the sign above. That's the national language of Pakistan. His store has been ransacked with nothing stolen twice.
I've been victimized. It happened.
How so?
2 times my store has been broken.
Christopher Helt is an adjunct professor of immigration studies at Loyola. He also runs a law office on Devon and has defended Muslim men rounded up by authorities after 9/11 just because they were Muslim.
You're under suspicion if you're Muslim, and that's really unfair. It's unfortunate and unfair.
For Ahmed Rehab of the Council on American Islamic Relations, every terror incident or warning has its predictable outcome for 400,000 Chicagoland Muslims.
Every time something like this happens and breaks out in the news, our community is definitely targeted for bigotry, discrimination, and so the backlash is very real.
Back on Devon Street, life goes on with a South Asian flavor, the Indians and the Pakistanis. But when terror strikes, people here say it's not the Indians, it's the Pakistanis, the Muslims, who feel the heat.
You don't have the same type of racial profiling as you do against people from Pakistan. It's again, another unfortunate circumstance, and a lot of it's just based on ignorance.
Now, many from the Muslim community told us they feel the problem comes in large part from media commentators of the extreme right wing and internet bloggers who they feel tend to portray all Muslims with the brush used to portray so-called Islamic extremists. They are tired of it, and they're trying to get out from under that portrayal, but every time something like this happens, it's just very hard to be a Muslim American. I mean, they can't seem to get out from under that.
That must just be so difficult for them every day. I mean, they must just be hanging with their fists clenched, waiting for something to happen.
So many, and you've heard it before, say these people are not Muslims. They're not religious.
Right. They condemn these plots.
They're using them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, let's hope that other people take notice of that and don't take it out on them. Thank you much, John.